Hello, my people. It's Dahlia.
And Nicole.
And this is Quiche my ass. Does anyone smell a little something different going on here? Oh, wait. Am I across the table from a married woman? Is that a married woman?
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of? Wait, did your paperwork go through? Oh, shit. So you had a wedding for no reason.
No, it was
a honeymoon.
It was a wedding. It's just the paperwork's not official, but for all other purposes, it was real.
Oh yeah,
for a green card.
Just kidding.
I'm kidding.
Anyone that does go out there and get married for a green card, good for you. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So how is it being married? Has it hit?
It's hit kind of. Like on the honeymoon, I think we were like, wow, we're married like so many times. And
was Thomas saying it happily?
He's like, oh my God, what did I do?
I actually thought about it recently. Like, me being married is going to be like, I can't picture it. So I don't know. I think I am definitely the male in my relationship.
Tell that to Ian.
No, he knows. He knows for sure that I'm going to be the one that's like, yeah, we can wait around. I can wait 7 more years for kids. Like, I don't need kids like tomorrow or the next year. Like, I don't need that. But that one wants kids tomorrow.
Well, there's going to have to be a compromise.
I know, because I have to carry the baby. If
anyone
out there that doesn't know, I have to be the one carrying the baby. So anyway, this episode is going to be about weddings and how weddings are in our industry so much. I think alone, Dahlia, me, has worked over 500 weddings. I have worked over 500 weddings.
I'm sure.
And what about you?
More for me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you guys must be like, no. Yes, every week in catering, there's a wedding somewhere, no matter where it is.
Wait, can you do the math on that?
So, no, I will do the math. An average of, in 2013, there was 2.5 million weddings. And this is 2013. Imagine 2020.
That's crazy.
Like, there was so many weddings. I went to so many weddings, and that's why we wanted to do a wedding episode.
Sometimes 2 a day. Like, it depends if you do a morning and an evening, or if you do 4 a weekend. Like, it's crazy.
The banquet hall that I used to work with, my first job, they had 2 reception areas, and then they also used the outdoor area. There would be 5 weddings in one day.
Yeah.
And we would serve the lunch wedding, and then we had to clean up. Then we have to serve the 2 dinner weddings. And then there was probably a wedding outside or a reception dinner outside. It was just crazy. And that was me at 18 working probably at that point, like from that job for a year and a half, I probably worked like 200 weddings because you're doing it. You're literally cooking for 150 people there, 350 there. It was crazy.
Yeah, like 50 here, whatever, all kinds. It's
and
crazy.
Also, and I would like to say that was 2012 is when I was doing that job, or 2013, and it was $40 a person at that country club. And
okay, but here's one thing about weddings that you don't know. $40 a person for what? Food and drinks?
For the whole place. Yeah,
for the place, but that doesn't include the DJ, the florist.
No,
it doesn't include
okay.
the linens,
we'll talk
the
about
rentals,
money. We'll talk about
the
money.
The tip, the everything.
Okay, so first I wanted to read the definition out loud of marriage.
Oh, God.
And then I'll just tell you what the wedding one was, which was so funny. So marriage, the legally or formally recognized union of 2 people as partners in a personal relationship. Okay, that's it. Wedding, a marriage ceremony. That was it. That's literally what I got from Google, was a marriage ceremony. What is a wedding to you?
That's
literally the one word we cannot use while we're podcasting, and Nicole goes, Well,
I didn't expect you to ask me that question.
That's
like,
not
I'm
a
just
hard
shocked.
question. This isn't like a 4-year-old, and I'm asking you, what is the meaning of love? Like,
well, I think a wedding is creating or bringing a family together, like
2 families into
two
one.
families into one. And also, I think for me, it's like starting your own family. And that doesn't mean like I'm having kids tomorrow, I'm not having kids.
This
but
is
it's like
also a pregnancy
no,
announcement.
no. But it's also like where everybody in your life acknowledges now that you and this person are family. Like before.
Okay.
Does that make?
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a creation of a family is
The
what a wedding is.
Yes.
Which technically it is for a lot of cultures. They are right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're trying to create that family. So.
And I'm not trying to create that family, but just like acknowledging that him and I are family.
That's cute. I can't. Now I have to think of you guys as family.
Well, we are now.
Okay, I know, but now Dahlia has to process that.
Okay. Well, I processed that all of my honeymoon.
So in the beginning of every wedding, after the ceremony is done, this is a plot twist for you. You're like, what is she gonna do? So in the beginning of a wedding, you know, everyone starts to sit down, relax. You know, they just stood up for a ceremony. They just walked over from the ceremony and they're exhausted. And they got their cocktails. They're hanging out. And then the speeches begin. But Dahlia did not give a speech at Nicole's wedding because I wasn't asked.
Well, yes.
I was not asked. So I'm going to give a speech now.
Wow. And also, I just want to say, I didn't ask anybody to give speeches. I just let people choose if they wanted to give speeches. And if they did.
Your brother gave a really cute, short, perfect speech.
Yes, it was beautiful.
And then I think Thomas's friend also gave a speech.
Yes.
That was cute.
And his sister.
Oh, I think the sister, I do remember that one too.
Yeah.
That one was cute. And I introduced myself to her, so sorry. Sister of Thomas.
That's fine.
All right. Ready? I'm going to stand up for this.
Oh my God.
I'm going to stand up for this. This is if you're watching. Okay. I wrote this literally 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago outside when I was taking a break. I was taking a lunch break, guys. Nicole and Thomas are the relationship that most people don't picture when you think of a perfect relationship.
Oh my God.
They're the complete opposite with certain things and then exactly the same person for other things. When I first moved to New York, I was in some dumb long distance relationship and that wasn't going to last. And Nicole knew it. She was in a long 3-year relationship with Thomas a few years ago and they made it work and made it look like flawlessly like it's supposed to be. Like every relationship is supposed to have a long distance relationship and make it look good. Anyway, my long distance relationship didn't work out and I was dating, I was doing that thing. I had no hope. I thought love sucked. I was like, what is this? But you guys always gave me hope. You always made me think it just should be effortless. And that's what you guys are. Effortless, healthy, perfect. It was the kind of love that was just so in sync. I can't picture Nicole being with someone else to the bride and groom and my friends. You're my sister, and I love you guys. Mwah.
Aw.
Yee! I gave a speech. That was my first speech ever, guys.
So I almost actually asked you to do a speech.
This is the bitch that I'm friends with.
No, but I didn't because nobody on Thomas's side was giving a speech, so I didn't want it to be like a 3-tiered speech for me on my wedding
But you know
day.
I wouldn't make it about you.
Well, it's over now, so thank you. I love you. It was a perfect speech. And
I'm sorry for everyone that had to hear that speech, but I wrote it outside, so sorry. And I thought about it on my long commute, because the longer the commute, the more you go insane.
yes.
It was 3 hours on Tuesday. Sorry, guys. We're not talking about my commute into the city every day, but, you know, I think about crazy things when I'm on my commute, and I was like, you know what? I didn't give a speech at the wedding. I need to give a speech at some wedding, so I'm going to give it on the podcast.
Well, I love it. It's perfect.
Yes. So anyway, we're going to go back. We're going to go in depth. An average New York City wedding is $66,000.
Wow.
That's an average New York City. Also, money is in New York. So, like, I know people that have dropped $150 on a wedding, and, like, they're middle class people. Like, that's a house, guys. Like, you do
So
much.
our wedding was a lot less than that, but still not cheap because I was under the assumption that I could do my wedding for $10,000. And
that's not
that's
true.
just not true, especially for people in the restaurant industry who have an idea of what they want. Because maybe I could have if I invited half the guests, or maybe I could have if we decided not to do an open bar for our family's members
or
friends who ended up drinking. I actually have this. Hold on one second.
You're gonna read it out loud. She's gonna vaguely read it out loud.
I am going to read the cocktail order.
Oh my God, I want to
of these.
And then we're gonna go into weddings and what they are.
80 pina coladas. 52.
Wait, tell everyone how many people were there.
100 guests.
100 guests. Okay. So there was 100 guests. 2 of them were kids. Just saying.
Yes.
And then a lot of people did travel in.
Yes.
It was New York City Marathon weekend. Yeah, Nicole just decided to do it all on that weekend.
Well, I didn't know the marathon. They actually announced the date of the marathon after we had picked it.
It's okay. I'm not shitting on you. I'm letting people know the vibe of this weekend. Okay? It was a beautiful, gorgeous day. She had her ceremony at the Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, awesome. Somebody was eating a rotisserie chicken while everyone else was watching Nicole and Thomas
We had
get married.
so many strangers.
It was a lot of
just join
strangers
in.
because this is New York City. There's going to be strangers at your wedding if you picked a public place to have a wedding. So it was funny. I remember even Nicole's sister was like, somebody's smoking a blunt right now? And I was just like, yep. Well, she didn't say blunt. She goes, somebody's smoking a marijuana right now. And I was like, yes, everywhere.
It's legal.
It's legal. Not even that. That's just what you smell when you're at the park. It was just funny. It was that. And then we went over to Thomas's job, Kings County Imperial. Yeah, we went to the wrong place first. I went to like an armory. I don't know where we ended up. We got an armory, and then we showed up. Nicole and Thomas, beautiful decorations. You guys did such a great job.
Our florist was amazing.
The florist was amazing. The layout was awesome because they had 2 different bars, but like one was completely away from the dance floor. So like the people that weren't into dancing were able to go hang out at a different bar, hang out, communicate, chill. There was also an awesome smoking area with tables and chairs and an awning. Like it was awesome. I died for a second twice. Yep. Thank God there was Band-Aids in the bathroom because I put it on.
I did buy those for you specifically.
Oh yeah, you knew it was gonna be me. But it was awesome. It was. I was sore from dancing.
I was too.
I was very much sore from dancing. We haven't danced like that in so long.
No, and it was all night we danced.
Yeah, and the DJ was good. He didn't play. It was a very, very old school music, and then all of a sudden at the end, like WAP came on, and I'm just like. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that we're at a family like event and like WAP is on.
My mom was dancing too. I don't think they. So with wedding DJs, like I made 2 playlists. I made one playlist that was for the reception, like the cocktail hour, and I made another playlist that was for dancing. Specifically, you don't want to have overlap because you don't want people to listen to the same songs like multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I just want to say my friend went to a wedding and they didn't have a DJ. They just played the same 10 songs. She said 10.
Oh my God.
10
that
songs.
That is terrible.
For 3 hours, they played the same 10 songs.
Oh my God.
No one danced, she said. Which is also crazy.
Well, ours was like just non-stop dancing. Yeah. But I think that
for us.
I think one thing I want to say about weddings is like I totally forgot to give the venue our first playlist because I gave the DJ both, but the DJ didn't come until it was time to dance. He came at like 10 or at 8.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So he wasn't choosing
I didn't notice there was music on before. Was there?
There was, but I don't know what was playing. And I was like, I definitely did not choose these songs, but whatever. Yeah. I think you just have to let things go at some point. You're like, whatever.
So this was, mind you, it started at 5. Even though your invitation said 5:30, 5:45. People were there at 5.
Yeah, which I had... Well, when you send out invitations, you send them out like 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
So by the time I had told the restaurant, I was like, they're going to start showing up at 5.
Yeah. No, I know. It was fine. It was fine that everyone started showing up at 5. But people didn't start leaving till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So
which is very
unusual. We're going to read the alcohol in like consumption for 100 people. Go on.
I can't read all of it, but I'm going to say...
Oh my God, it's long, guys.
80 pina coladas, 58 jungle birds, 32 what would you say? Like mules.
Yeah.
38 Mai Tais. 83 King Kamehamehas, which is like a tequila drink.
I think I had a few of those.
44 Tito's and sodas. 50 añejo shots, 4 bottles of bourbon. I don't know why or
4
who.
bottles of bourbon?
I don't know who needed 4 bottles, but we paid for it. And then
you should question that. I would question that.
No, because they were taking shots of it.
Bourbon?
These boys, they like wouldn't not stop.
How much tequila shots does it say?
It's 50 shots.
That's it?
Yes.
I'm shocked by that number.
I think that's less, which makes sense. Like, okay, well, you just have to deal with the bourbon. Like, I think that it was probably...
Yeah, because the amount of tequila shots, like, everyone around me took, I think it was everyone.
Yeah. And it's like I mean, that's kind of just funny. The more I could go into it, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, like, Mai Tais, there's 12 bottles of red wine, 2 cases of cheap Prosecco, 1 case of nice champagne.
I know, but that's a lot.
It's a lot. But it's a lot.
That is so much alcohol.
These people, Dahlia.
Your guests. What do you mean these people?
I know, but we know them, and it's crazy to think, like, when you break it down, how many drinks per person this is. But based on the state, like, people left just 1 shoe. It was like I don't know, whatever. It was amazing, and it was worth it, even though, you know.
What was the one thing that you stressed out about, but then wasn't worth it anyway at the end?
Well, I'm not supposed to say
Exactly. I literally just said that.
The one thing that I stressed out about that I should not have stressed out about, I want to say, is my dress, but that's not a vendor that I am. I think every vendor it was all worth it.
Okay, so nothing.
Nothing. It was all worth it.
It was all worth it.
I think that, unfortunately, the gifts, like, I had gotten everybody these beautiful chocolates from a friend, and unfortunately I think they got put out a little bit later, so people didn't take them when they, like, I think if you put out the gifts when people arrive, they know they're there.
Yeah.
But they didn't put these out until the end, and everybody's like blackout drunk stumbling home.
Yeah,
So
like
they didn't really know to grab it, which isn't a bad thing, because that just leaves me with a ton of chocolate that I will love to eat. But I think that one thing is, if you don't have the budget for a gift, or if you think you need to spend $10 per person on a gift, don't, because...
Yeah, a lot of people, I've noticed that. Like, the gifts aren't something, it should be like something that you made. Like, my friend Jackie, she made an herbed salt, and that was it. Like, not that was it, but like, what, she had to pay for the mason jars that it came in, and like the salt, which salt is like the cheapest thing at the supermarket. You know what I mean?
Right, and I think that's nice, and I love that I was able to support a friend, and I was able to share that business with her. That was Burrow
chocolates, if anyone was wondering.
Yes.
They were beautiful chocolates. We will post them.
I've posted them, I've shared them, I love them, they were beautiful. But I do think, like, there were other options. We talked about getting like tiki mugs, or we talked about getting like little plants. And at the end of the day, I'm like, what are people actually going to use? Do people want a little tiki mug? Probably not. And if they did, they could buy it themselves. And also,
tiki mugs are expensive, aren't they? Like,
well, we found some that were like $7 a piece, and
that's
like,
still crazy.
But
for
it's a lot.
People. That's
yeah.
$700. Shipping and handling, and then
not
with the
to
bags.
mention everybody's traveling, and they might not even want them.
So one thing I noticed, weddings are cool, whatever. I'm not really a wedding kind of person. I had to attend a lot this year, so it made me not want to have a wedding. Yeah. But the one thing that I want to ask you is, did you ever at all think about how much money other people are spending to come to your wedding? Because, yeah, you're spending the money. Cool. No joke. It probably costs like a couple, $2,000 just to come, gifts, hotel room, Ubers, all together.
Yeah.
And this is a couple that sees you once a year.
So there were several people who would say, like, oh, what do you want for this? Like, what do you want for your wedding? Can I get you something? And the out-of-town guests, I tried my best to say, you coming is like more than a gift for us, because...
Okay. So you know.
I know how expensive it is, but I'm also happy that, like, our rehearsal dinner, I was able to share some of like the best parts of New York, and I was able to show everybody the Brooklyn Bridge Park, and I was able to show, like, really share my life with them and give everyone a great night with no expenses. But at the same time, like, I do not expect gifts from anybody, especially the guests that traveled so far to come out of their way for it.
Yeah, your bridesmaids traveled. A lot of people traveled.
Yeah.
I would say a majority of your wedding traveled.
Yeah. We have a lot of people who
I
traveled.
would say probably like 65 traveled here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Whether they were from the DC area or...
Still a trip, guys. It's not an easy to find a hotel room at all.
No.
Or an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And the Ubers in Manhattan are just insane right now.
Or anywhere. Brooklyn, it's like, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I don't understand it, but I do understand it. I don't understand it, though, because it's just insane. But, so in 2013, I don't know why I kept getting 2013 when I was doing the research, but for weddings, it's $53.4 billion, the amount of money people spent.
What's crazy is how everything, if you say it's a wedding, doubles in price. Like, at minimum.
What? So if you said it was a funeral, they would have given you half this alcohol?
Well, this is different because this is a place that Thomas works, and he did a lot of the mixes himself for the cocktails, and that's different. We got a lot of things like at cost, and they really help support us. But no, for example, I went to get my dress altered.
Oh, that was so bad. So
yeah,
tell people.
They told me that my dress was going to be because I had 2 dresses. They told me that the dresses would be about $29.99 to start, but it wouldn't, probably because there are very minor things that I wanted done.
Extremely minor. Guys. Like, we could go on YouTube and figure it out.
Like, one, I wanted it hemmed, but I didn't really need it hemmed, even though it was great. It was perfect. But then the other, I just needed the little latch on the back that I honestly could have done myself. And I just thought, like, well, whatever. I'm just going to do it and have them all pressed. So I drop it off, and then I ask for the price. They say, oh, we'll send you an invoice after you leave. Let us, like...
so bad.
And they send me an invoice for what?
$546.
And I am shocked. I am, like, ready to turn around and go pick up my dresses.
It said, like, a press. Like, they were going to press one of the dresses, which, like, you can't even press the dress.
You definitely cannot press the dress.
Sequence.
And it didn't need to be pressed.
Yeah, and somebody could press it.
And it's just because they were wedding gowns. That's it. If they were just normal gowns that I dropped off there, or if I said, hey, can you do this white dress? And they asked me where I was going. I said, I'm going to prom. They probably wouldn't have charged me that.
Why do you think that like they just overcharge for weddings?
I think because they know, I mean, the industry is so big. They know that people will pay it. They know they're not going to say no because they need it. And for the record, I did not pay that amount. I called them and was able to get the price down to like $130.
Which is like still fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, really?
Right.
Really. What was the most memorable wedding that you have gone to?
As a guest or working?
I guess we're going to do guest first and then we'll talk about our work.
It's hard to differentiate like ones that I've worked versus ones I've been a guest because I think I've been to so many working so many. But I think that my favorite, that's such a hard question.
Is it?
Yeah, it's such a hard question because I feel like I've worked so many more than I've ever even attended.
Okay, so I guess you liked working these weddings? I hated working weddings, guys. The only thing I like about working weddings is that there's a timeline and that's it. When like other events, there's not much of a timeline because it's just like, oh, they're just having people over for the 50th birthday party. You know what I mean?
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. With wedding, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like, all the speeches are going to be 30 minutes, we think. Like, it's all, like, very timely. So you knew you were getting out at 9 o'clock because weddings food does not go past the later time.
Right, but in my case, it did. We were able to have it until 1 in the morning, which was great.
You didn't have food pass. Like, the kitchen could have left.
Right, they did, yeah.
They did.
Yeah. But I think my favorite wedding that I've ever worked was...
I don't even remember the weddings that I worked.
Well, it's funny because it's not
we don't see it.
The ones in New York were not my favorite. It's definitely the ones in DC.
When you're in DC.
There's 2.
Okay, also the ones in New York, we really cooked a lot of second weddings.
For like people who just had a ton of money and it was their second one.
It was their second wedding. They didn't want anything crazy, but they wanted good food.
So first, what is your favorite wedding you've attended?
I know you want me to say yours.
You don't have to say mine.
No, so I really liked. I went to 5 weddings this year. One was like last January where like COVID was still pretty much a thing, but people were vaccinated, so I felt safer. That one was weird, but it was a childhood friend of mine, and like I was just happy. She looked beautiful, so I cried. And then the second wedding that I went to was one that I was semi-dreading going to, and it was Ian's cousin in North Carolina. And I was like dreading to go because I was like, I don't know anyone. Fuck, I have to meet the whole family now, like cousins, grandparents, like everyone, uncles. I was like, all right, like I'm fine. I'm good at meeting people. I'll be fine, whatever. And we stayed in Asheville, which was my second time there. But then we went to this like random national forest, and it was beautiful. It was like so awesome. The only thing that I didn't like about it was short. Like it ended at midnight. And I like weddings that go a little bit longer.
Well, what time did it start?
So it was like a 3-day event, which I also liked. Like during the day, like the night before, we had pizza. We hung out by the water. And then the next day, everyone was allowed to come and like hang out in the lazy river and like get to know everyone. But then the wedding was at like 4:00. So, and then the wedding was at 4:00. I think the party started at like 7. And that was it. Like food was whatever. Like it was just beautiful. Like the whole setup was just, they used the park as the whole wedding, which was really nice. And then the next day, Chick-fil-A breakfast, everyone hung out. It was raining, but everyone was still chilling. It was cute. It was really nice. I thought it was like, everyone was allowed to stay in the park as well. There was like huts everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool. They had like really nice glamping, but like extreme glamping, like nice bathroom. Like it was really pretty. So I liked that wedding. And then I went to St. Louis and I went to my friend's wedding. It's probably the wedding that I cried the most in, which I didn't cry in yours.
I didn't even cry. No,
I knew.
I think there was just too.
No, you know why? You and Thomas aren't emotional people. So you guys weren't like spilling your love for each other because everyone fucking knows already.
Right.
So like it wasn't an emotional
And we
wedding.
do that like in private.
I hope you do it somehow. I you know, I don't think people were wondering when you do it, but okay. We do it in private, guys. No, but I went to my best friend in college's wedding, and that was like, everyone was in tears. Everyone was crying because like you could see these two people like just loved each other. But I will say the traveling weddings, I didn't even know Ian's cousin, and it cost me like almost $2,000 to just like go and be there, and the gift and
take off work
outfit and like everything adds up. For your wedding, I was a bridesmaid, so I had to like go to your bachelorette, and I had to do all the other things. So like, you know, I'm not having a wedding. For everyone, I'm not having one. I think.
No, she's gonna have one.
I don't think I'm gonna have one.
But one thing, like, I think in the wedding industry, or there's so many traditions that I want to talk about
traditions
that are just terrible.
That you have
but
to
also
do, but
really
you didn't
sweet.
You didn't do a lot of traditional stuff.
Yeah.
You wanted to do the bouquet toss. You never did it.
No, I did.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Where was I?
I think I threw your bouquet, too, because I don't know whose I threw, but it was not mine.
Okay. When did you throw it? Who caught it?
My friend Justin's girlfriend caught it.
Oh, okay.
The girl in the red dress.
I don't remember. That's so funny. I'm so sorry for not being there.
No, but Thomas and I thought it's like so awkward is the garter. And
people don't do that anymore, do they?
Well, we did not do that. All we did was the bouquet toss. But I think that it's interesting because it's like,
you also did the with a champagne bottle.
Oh yeah, I sabered a champagne bottle, which was the best sabering of a champagne bottle I have done because no champagne came out of it.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Normally it like just explodes, but it didn't.
Practice like 3 bottles in the morning.
Yeah, well, that's good for us.
One with the wine glass. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I did one with the wine glass and then the other one broke.
Yeah, but that was still nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about traditions. Let's
Okay.
talk about what you do at a wedding, what you shouldn't do at a wedding. What did you do? What did you not do?
What I did I did the bouquet toss because I think it's special. I think the girls like it. I think it's like you weren't even there. So maybe you're not getting married. No, but we like the last thing we did was we're definitely not doing the garter. So great, done. Not doing it.
Yeah.
Also I hate wedding cake. I think it's awful. I think I've worked at over 500 weddings and I've never had a piece of wedding cake where I was like,
yum.
Oh, yum. Like it's either beautiful or it's good, but it's never both. Have you ever?
Money pit. It's a money pit.
It's a money pit.
It's a money pit. When I see wedding cakes, they do range for more than $1,000 at this point, and people pay for it. Just like dresses, you know? Like, you're wearing it once. You're eating it fucking once.
Like, and if you're even eating it at all.
If you're eating it, I know that there's always sweet tooths in the crowd, so there will be people eating it, but, like,
I think
Nicole did. Well, tell people what you did.
Well, we did pies instead.
Okay.
And I think that it was nice because we got to have all different kinds of flavors. Like we got 4 different flavors so people can choose what they want. But at the end of the day, the only bite of pie I had was
the first bite.
And it was literally just meringue on top of the pie. It wasn't even the whole pie. So it's like, I'm so glad it was still kind of expensive because we had to buy so many. But at the end of the day, like I still probably spent half of what somebody, like barely half of what somebody would spend on a wedding cake.
Also you spent good money on the food because the food was really like it was restaurant food, so it was good. It wasn't like banquet food or like wedding food.
Which is I was talking to somebody about that. I was like explaining to my mom. She was like, that was the best food I've ever had at a wedding. And I'm like, yeah, because it wasn't sitting in a hot box for 4 hours. And she's like, well, isn't that what you used to do?
It is.
And I was like, kind of though, because
depends on which catering company you're talking about.
It depends on what company you're talking about. I think that hot boxes are used in catering. I think that sterno is like so bad for you. And one of the companies I used to work for used the sugar sterno, so it's better for the environment and it doesn't have like toxic fumes. But at the same time,
I have caught things on fire with sternos.
Oh my gosh, so much fire. We could do like a whole episode on just fire in the kitchen.
I keep sending fires off in my work.
Why?
Because I'm an idiot. And like I remember my boss's assistant just saw me like put out a fire and she goes, you did that like you do that every day. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, wait, what just happened? And I was like, there was a fire. And she was like, yeah, but you just like, you're calm. Why are you calm? And she was like freaking out slowly. And I was just like,
It's just something you deal with. You encounter that possibility every single day.
I'm dumb. This is the dumbest thing I'm ever going to say out loud. But I keep burning the pot that I'm steaming vegetables in.
How?
Because I let it keep going on high and not refilling it with water.
And it catches on fire?
So it caught on fire because I was steaming broccoli and then I poured olive oil inside of it.
Oh, and then
I just let it and the water evaporated, but the oil kept going down. So all of a sudden I just see flames and I'm just like, Anyway, that's me being dumb.
Well, I think we encounter fire so much every day in our workplace that it's like it's nothing.
Flames. How we're gonna go into celebrity weddings.
Oh.
Yes. So I was reading an article about Nick Jonas, because I love Nick Jonas. He and his wife, Priyanka, spent...
Priyanka,
isn't that her name?
I have no idea.
I think it's her name. I'm going to look it up for me, please.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, her name, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she and him got married, and they spent over $2.5 million on their wedding. and it was very quick. And they regret spending that much money on their wedding. They think that it's, what is her name, Priyanka?
Yes, her name is Priyanka.
Okay, then don't second. I know.
I've just never heard of that.
My
name.
ex-husband's new wife's name is. Okay, so I know.
Okay, so how much did they spend?
They spent like 2.4 or something like that million, and they regret spending that. They said it went by so quickly. It wasn't worth that much money. Like, it was worth that much money. Like, it was a huge, crazy thing. Like, there's a video of her walking down the aisle, but like this long castle aisle, and like she's walking down the stairs, and her dress is going half a mile long. Like, she looked beautiful. It looked beautiful and amazing and like priceless, but it was definitely a price on it, and they regret it. They were like, we should have just had something small, and that was it. Because like, I think they met a year and a half before that. So like, they got engaged like a year of knowing each other, and then like got married 6 months after engagement. Like, it was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And like, obviously they have people to like do everything. She's a very famous actress in India, so like, she has all these people, he has all these people, but like, at the end of the day, 2.4 million.
That's crazy. I think like ours was more expensive than I wanted it to be, but at the end of the day, it was worth it because it all turned out like.
Are you surprised that it's more money?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's more than what I imagined when I first started planning. As we went and like did more planning and found out like the flowers were going to be more expensive than we wanted, and this was going to be more expensive, and our friends drank 3 times the amount we estimated they would drink. But at the end of the day, we're like, it was the best day of our lives, so like it didn't matter because
yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
I mean, it wasn't, because like things go wrong, but whatever. It was like, I wouldn't have changed anything.
So I just want to go back to the celebrity.
Okay, sorry.
The one big broadcasted wedding is always the royal family and somebody getting married.
Yes.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, their wedding was $45.8 million.
Oh my God.
Like, that, what?
$1 million?
Yeah, and
why?
Then I think his brothers and Kate Middleton's was $45 million. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so crazy. I mean, they probably
have the best of the best food there, the best of the best alcohol.
The food's probably not even that good.
No, it's probably just caviar. That's probably like they're just buying caviar and like
a tin
really
per
expensive
person.
Cheese, yeah, and like imagine.
And they're probably including each guest stay. They probably put each guest up.
Yeah, like it's insane how much and honestly, watching that wedding actually makes me cringe because it's being broadcasted. You don't see the love that them two have. You just see these are the next people taking care of our country. Like, they don't look happy. They didn't look happy. I didn't think they looked happy. And it was all over. Like, it was all over the news. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about Kate Middleton. Meghan Markle, not so much. Now they're talking about her, of course. But, like, it's just crazy. Like, that this wedding of a girl that they were shitting on in tabloids like 3 years ago. I'm talking about Kate Middleton. Now they're like, oh my gosh, it's the new princess.
Oh my gosh.
The new perfect person. And I'm just like, guys, I don't understand the royal family, but like, we're not going to go in there. We should do a whole episode on what they eat in a day. Because Queen Elizabeth's weird. I'm going to get shot for that.
Yeah, don't say that. I'll walk you to your car later.
But no, I think celebrity weddings, it's either like Paris Hilton just had hers.
She had 4 wedding dresses.
Which, you're Paris Hilton. Like, you had 2 and you're not Paris Hilton. So
yeah, right. So like, it makes sense why she has double.
Also, do you like sometimes think that like, oh, I should have just kept my one dress on the whole time? Or you liked the 2 dresses?
No, I like the 2 dresses. So I'm happy that I did it because I think the second one I was a lot more like comfortable in myself in. Mm-hmm. Whereas the first one was more like sexy, kind of skin tight, where I felt comfortable in it, but not like so comfortable to be in front of like everybody around constantly. Yeah. So I think that having the second one was nice, and I was able to like put on whatever shoes because nobody could see what shoes I was wearing anyways in the other one, and it was nice. I am looking forward to seeing the pictures of it though, because I've only seen the pictures of the one. But one thing like in weddings that I think brides and grooms, they get caught up in is asking everyone else's opinion. And I think that that's so silly. Because ultimately, like, everybody in your family is going to have an opinion, whether it's about the food or where it is or how long it is or who did you invite, where am I sitting? And it's like there's so many decisions to make that when you ask other people their opinion, it just confuses your own mind.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, everyone's going to have a different answer.
Do you think weddings are going to ever slow down and, like, not cost as much? Or you think it's just going to get higher from here?
Well, I think that next year, because this coming year, like 2022, is supposed to be
the most weddings
most weddings recorded since like the war, since like since before,
I think World War II.
And so I feel like this year a lot of businesses are going to put their prices higher because the demand is higher.
And they lost a whole year.
And they lost a whole year, 2 years.
Yeah. They
so
lost a lot.
I know my hairstylist said that she's going to start charging more. And like, I thought the amount of money for the makeup artist, I was like, this is a lot of money to pay. I don't know if it's worth it. But at the end, it was so worth it. But it takes a lot of, like, everything takes so much time, so much planning, so much coordination. I think that, like, the expense is kind of worth it in some ways, but sometimes it's not. It just depends.
So you obviously don't have the same mindset as me, that it's just one day.
No, but it is just one day, and I think I've always thought that. Like, I literally always thought that until I started planning it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm still caught up in the still just one day.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Yeah.
Yes, but both of my wedding dresses were under $150.
Great. You were cheap on one thing.
Right. I was cheap on one thing and not on anything else.
Yeah. But, so the weddings that me and you have worked, for sure, just in total, like, the food alone was $100 for the weddings that we have worked.
Minimum.
Yeah. And, like, the weddings with, like, the caviar bar, or, like, they even want caviar as a past hors d'oeuvre. That's already, like, $2,000 just to have that one hors d'oeuvre.
I did a wedding where each guest got a 40-gram tin of caviar to themselves.
What was it served with?
It was
Bellinis?
first course. It was served with bellinis and potatoes and potato chips, all on the same plate with chives and egg.
I don't know.
And creme fraiche and lemon.
Would you do that if you had enough money? I feel like my guests wouldn't care about caviar.
I think that, I guess I always thought that when I got married, I would serve the guests one thing and give myself something else. Because
you don't have time to do any of that.
Well, I would think, because my guests, they don't care what I want to eat.
Yeah.
And so, like, I would think I would ask for caviar for my day. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't, because it doesn't, like, what I eat, I might not even have time for it. So what I'm going to ask for this thing.
Did you eat?
I actually did eat, yeah. I did eat, and I probably drank a lot less than, like, some of my guests.
Sorry.
Because...
Yep. Obviously, look at that list.
No, it's fine. It's just you're so busy. There's so much to do. Like, you don't need a special meal because everybody's talking to you all the time.
Okay.
I don't know. What would you serve?
At my wedding?
Yeah, would it be food you want to eat, or would it be food that... Because why waste your money
I'm dating a vegetarian, so it's going to be very difficult to plan any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just not having one. Not because he's a vegetarian, but it's just like, I want to go on a 6-month honeymoon. Like, that's what I want to do as a wedding. I'm going to have, like, a GoFundMe page or whatever. Ian said that's illegal, but something. I'm just like, here, I'm getting married. I'm not having a wedding. If you guys want to give me something for me getting married, here's, a website. Put some money in if you want. I'm going on a 6-month trip. Everyone says it's not realistic, but, like, it's realistic.
Well, I think it depends on wherever you are in your job and your career. Like, if you can do it,
I could take a pause. I always could take a pause. Wherever you are in life, you could take a fucking pause. No?
I think
Nicole's like, no. She went away for 10 days and she's like, absolutely not.
No, I could have stayed longer, but Thomas was like ready to be home. And I think that the only reason he was ready to be home is because he knew he had to come back to work.
And kitties.
I'm getting paid while I'm away from work. He's not.
Oh, okay.
So like,
well, now you guys are married, so you have joint accounts.
Not yet, but yeah, basically we might as well. Yeah. So I think it's time for Munchbox.
Oh, is it? I'm nervous. Nicole's like, I'm getting Munchbox today. And I was like, all right. And she got the spoons out. I'm nervous. I see it. Okay, it's in the fridge. It's not in the freezer. She door dashed it here. Should I close my eyes?
Yeah, close your eyes.
Can I smell? Oh my gosh, why are you bringing out more than one thing? Oh God. Is this ceviche?
No. Okay, you can open your eyes.
Oh, fucking A. Nicole, I'm on a diet. I have 4 slices of pie in front of me.
So, I wanted to promote Petey's Pies because we had these pies for our wedding, and they are seriously the best pies in New York, in my opinion.
They look amazing. And I didn't have any pie at your wedding.
I didn't either.
That's crazy.
So, I figured, you don't have to eat all of it. We don't have to eat all of it. But
Thomas will eat all of it.
Thomas will eat all of it. So I got the
oh my gosh, my favorite.
apple crumb, cherry pie, banana cream pie,
oh
and
my God.
chocolate cream.
This one is what?
Apple crumb. Did you say my favorite and you don't even know what it is?
I thought it was pecan.
Oh.
I know you don't like pecan.
Well, I don't hate it. I just figured.
I like cold pie. I don't need it to be hot. Like my mom needs it to be hot.
I think apple pie would be better hot with like ice cream.
I guess so. So I also wanted to ask, what do you think the top honeymoon destination is? Like the top 3.
Hawaii.
Hawaii was on the top 15. I honestly was not shocked by these answers, but it's more just like, all right, basic. I was shocked by the first one, actually. This is like travel.
Like the Caribbean?
Travel news.
Caribbean islands?
No, so St. Lucia's the first one.
That's a Caribbean island?
Is it?
Yeah. I think so.
Bora Bora and the Maldives.
Okay.
Maldives.
Bora Bora makes sense because I actually know somebody who went to Bora Bora. So do you. Jason and Rebecca.
Yeah, they went to Bora Bora. So expensive. Tahiti was one of them. Fiji was one of them. It's all these islands. And, like, I want to go to Amsterdam. Like, actually, I want to go to the Philippines.
Yeah, but you said, oh, well, maybe I won't honeymoon in Tulum like I did.
Well, yeah. Nicole honeymooned in Tulum. But there was a lot of stuff going on. It rained.
Yeah, it rained every day. We thought about going to Hawaii because we've never been.
So expensive. That's the cost of your wedding.
But it's so expensive, and it's like the weather wasn't even as nice as Mexico was supposed to be.
What, in Hawaii? Mm-hmm. Really? Is it their winter?
It's colder, yeah.
I don't know. I think I would go to Hawaii if I like knew somebody there. Because it's like just an expensive place.
Yeah, well, I do know somebody in Hawaii, but I didn't want to go on my honeymoon. I didn't want to go on my honeymoon to spend time with other people.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. Do you ever watch White Lotus?
No.
There's a couple in White Lotus that they're on their honeymoon and the mom shows up because they have problems with their hotel and he like has to lean on his mom for everything.
Oh my God.
Imagine Thomas's mom showing up to your honeymoon. Well, I like her, but
I do too, but no. I think even she would be like, I'm not coming. Figure it out.
What is that?
This is maple whipped cream.
Why do you have maple whipped cream?
Because it came with the pies. If you get 4, I don't know. Thomas loves it, so I was like, fine.
He just eats whipped cream?
Well, it goes with the pie.
He just eats Cool Whip anywhere he is?
Yes.
We're just gonna buy some Cool Whip. Hey guys,
Cool.
let me pass by the gas station really quick. I need to get some Cool Whip.
I'll pick up the Cool Whip. I got it. It's on me.
I'm gonna get some Cool Whip. Oh my gosh, you guys must think we're like crackheads.
So, what do you think about the pies? What do you think about the pies versus wedding cake? Or the other beautiful trend,
donuts,
cupcakes.
Well, that's not a. No one does cupcakes for a wedding anymore.
It's not beautiful either. I was just saying. But you're right. Nobody does cupcakes anymore for weddings.
I know a lot of people that do like dessert bars. So like a Portuguese wedding is insane. Like cocktail hour, it's a buffet. It's literally a buffet of food. Like it's crazy how much food is in a Portuguese wedding. And then after there's a sit down of a salad and dinner. And then afterwards there's this huge spread of desserts with like flan, there's rice pudding, there's little like pastel de natas, like there's different like Portuguese desserts. So I sort of like the dessert bar situation with like authentic like desserts. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like that. Pies, I didn't even have a pie. What I realized in the past like the 5 weddings that I went to, I do not eat at weddings. I just don't. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me, but like
because there's so much talking, there's so much people, there's so many things to do.
I talk a lot.
Yeah, you talk a lot.
I talk a lot. Everyone knew who Dahlia was because I would keep going, "Hi, I'm Dahlia."
But you know what my favorite thing about weddings, and not mine, just like weddings in general, even, well, yes, this was one of my favorites of mine too, but even working weddings is it's one of the only places you get like hors d'oeuvres.
That's true. You don't eat hors d'oeuvres anywhere else.
Well, you do if it's like a cocktail hour, but really,
who's inviting us to cocktail hours?
Nobody's inviting me either.
No one's inviting us to like, here, come have some cocktails at my house.
We should have a cocktail party.
I love cocktail parties. Me and Nicole love cocktail parties. We realized no one else likes cocktail parties.
But we also love making hors d'oeuvres. Like it's just one little bite.
My friend wants me to like go over and teach her how to make like hors d'oeuvres. Because like she always hosts people over and she's just like, I just want to learn how to make hors d'oeuvres. And I was like, ooh, sure. You don't have to pay me. I'll just go for fun.
Yeah.
Pigs in the blanket though, favorite hors d'oeuvre. What's yours?
Tuna tartare.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like a tuna tartare hors d'oeuvre. I feel like it's not a common hors d'oeuvre.
I feel like it's a mandatory hors d'oeuvre for me.
It's mandatory.
But you think that your favorite, that's why you and Thomas are the same.
Pigs in the blanket?
Pigs in the blanket.
I'm weak for pigs in the blanket. Like every time I have to make it, I'm like shaking. I'm like, I gotta.
Why? It's literally a hot dog and croissant.
Because it's so good. And then you can put it in the very spicy mustard and the very cold ketchup. So good. And I use really good puff pastry. So it just makes it 10 times better. And if you like pigs in the blanket, like you're going to enjoy the pigs in the blanket that I make. But like the little kids that I like cook for, they're just like, I don't like this. And I'm like, it's amazing. It's so good.
And why don't they like it?
I don't know. It's not a Nathan's bun.
It's not a hot dog.
It's not a hot dog. It's pigs in the blanket, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Anyway. I just like finger food because you can go and you can have like 20 of them and you still like you get something new every time. Mm-hmm. Or oysters or just fun. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to have a cocktail party.
We're going to have a cocktail party. Everyone's invited. And it's going to be me and Nicole's wedding.
It's going to be a quiche my ass party.
Oh, that'd be cute. We should do a quiche my ass party.
Quiche my ass wedding.
Anyway, we are so sorry for the bantering and eating pie in front of you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. I want new ideas from you guys of what we should talk about or any guests that you guys have around the tri-state area. Have them come over.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions on weddings, since I did just plan one all by myself kind of with a lot of help from friends, let me know.
You're not going to say Thomas helped you?
Do you think Thomas helped me?
He did something.
Okay, he's going to listen to this and he's going to hate me for saying that. He did. He helped when he could.
Divorce is around the corner.
No, but he helped when he could. You
guys aren't even married yet.
But, you know.
Anyway.
He didn't care that. Like, he cared, but he was like, ultimately it's up to me to make the decisions. So
I know that's what probably I'm gonna have to do too. So
when you don't plan your wedding.
when I don't plan my wedding, but I have to plan the marriage.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to plan something.
I always have to plan something. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you for listening. Nicole, do the last bit.
Yeah, follow us on Quiche My Ass Pod at Quiche My Ass Pod.
This is why Nicole doesn't do it. Like, seriously?
You have to warn me if I'm supposed to do it.
Why? We do this every episode. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay, go.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I thought you were going to be like, I'm a big girl.
No,
I could do it.
No, I'm not. You should
Don't forget to follow us on at Quiche My Ass Pod on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube and listen to us on any podcast platform, including Spotify, Apple, and Podbean. There's other ones. We might create a Patreon. We don't know yet. I don't think you guys would pay $5 a month just to listen to us, but we'll see.
Never know.
Love ya. Kisses.
Love ya. Bye.
Meow, meow, meow.